Jeremiah chapter 3 is an important message that God gave the prophet Jeremiah for the end times. And of course, the majority of it is talking to Israel in the generation the Lord returns. And he's addressing the apostasy. He calls it spiritual adultery, harlotry. And it's such a heavy term to call it harlotry because it's a relational term. Because the Lord's calling Israel and even the body of Christ out of any compromise whatsoever. And he puts this compromise, not a little bit of compromise, but significant issues. And he puts it in this intense conversation and language, calling it harlotry, because he says, but I'm a bridegroom. And it's relational to me. It's not just that people do bad things, is that people are dismissing who they are to me and who I am to them as their bridegroom. And Jeremiah talks about this in great detail, and he gives this paradigm of the intense compromise as the harlotry, and then he talks about his heart to recover them. He talks about learning the lessons from history. He gives quite a bit on that as to what happened in church history and what happened in even the history with Israel, how it comes to fruition and how it is an instruction in the generation the Lord returns. It's quite important details. And then, of course, he gives these tremendous promises saying, you've gone so far, but I want you so bad that my mercy will cover you and recover you and enable you for all of these things I've promised to you, these glorious things. He actually calls it the beautiful heritage that he prepared for the sinful people who will say yes to the grace of God and come under his leadership. It's a broad scope of the history of where there's compromise and how God breaks in and heals it and restores it, and how his grace triumphs over sin. The passage that I loved using was the Romans 5 verse 20, where sin abounds, grace abounds all the more. Jeremiah 3, it really captures that message with clarity for the end time church.